Here we go.
In 5, 4, 3.
Call to me, lands far away.
Elves have forests to protect.
We need to build a wall.
Dwarfs their mines. Men their fields of grain. But we Harfoots have each other.
For I must now wander this wandering day.
We're safe.
You have fought long enough, Galadriel.
No.
Put up your sword.
The enemy is still out there. The question now is where?
It is over.
Nothing is over! Nothing! You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them!
If you only knew the power of the dark side. Darkness will march over the face of the earth. It will be the end, not just of our people, but all peoples. Everyone! I am sorry, but their time has come.
The past is with us all.
The past is dead. We either move forward or we die with it.
This could be the beginning of a new era.
Away I must wander this wandering day.
To him finally being lionized in the prime and his prime. Fuck.
Do it!
Shit.
Just do it! Don't let your dreams end. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Luke went from being... Oh, no. Welcome, Slayer Nation. I have some great news for you today. I hope you're all doing great. Nope, that didn't work. One more.
You have failed me for the last time.
Welcome, Slayer Nation. I hope...
If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up.
That is eating away at what you love in order for it to shine. And one man's vision is... Sometimes you don't have to make things better for them to be great again. You merely have to Okay. Hollywood continues to slow boil the culture and crazy. Well, right now, Spider-Man actor Andrew Garfield has stepped up and he's fighting motherfucker.
I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
And unbearded dwarves, but Prime didn't stop there. They stapled in intersectionality, individuality, biddiga-dig-bee, biddiga-dig-boo.
So it begins.
At my signal, unleash hell.
and gentlemen, George the Giant Slayer.
That was weird. We don't have a producer today. You can tell. Welcome back, everybody. This is Slayer Nation Live, and I'm your host, George Molho. It's Sunday, June 8th, 2025, in the year of our Lord. How are you all doing today? There's a lot of crazy going around the country right now. So we got a lot to talk about. It's just one of those weeks. Let's check in to see who's here first. Sindek, my brother from another mother, is right here. Hello to you, Sindek. Did you see that video today? What a beauty. Only one man can do that. First, last, fallen angel, Josh Hammond. How are y'all doing? Kaladin. We also have Eric K., the king of the mods, is going to join us pretty soon. And Lord Thoth is here. Fletcher Williams is not today, but we got a great panel for you. You got the LA riots. We're going to have to talk about them first, what's going on. And then we'll get into Hollywood with what's up with the new Superman trailer, plus Matthew McConaughey put out a new trailer. It's supposed to be a film based on a true story. And I couldn't believe it. Ben Stiller is looking at making a new Twilight Zone movie. Plus, the Fantastic Four seem to have gotten demoted by Marvel from Fantastic Four to the Foreskins to the Tampon Troopers. So we're going to find out about that. Hey, Razorburn, my favorite Rivet Head. Roar, Stephen Wood, Jill Powers, the River Daughter, Cody Clone. Love you all. All right, let's bring him out here. We got my very good friend, a man I love, Paul Chato.
Hello. How are you?
Should I have said it that loud that I love you?
It's okay. We have that special relationship.
I understand. I have my coffee.
I am very confident in my own sexuality.
Well, that's good. That's good. We're going to need all that confidence today. There's a lot going on. Plus, we have my nerdy home. How you doing, Steph?
Hey.
You're muted.
How does my mic sound? Does it sound okay?
Sounds good.
Sound good.
All right. It's a different mic.
Sounds crisp and clear. Coming in nicely.
Great.
Coming in nicely.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi.
Plus, we got Tom for Midnight's Edge After Dark, Midnight's Edge Espanol, and Midnight's Edge Greek coming soon.
Yes, Paul is confident that his sex will disappoint you.
Correct.
That's how confident he is in his sexuality.
That's right.
Well, that's a confident man.
I do have a sex scene in one of our sketch shows where I undress in a pastry refrigerator. And smear pastry all over myself while I'm half naked.
So you had on pastries?
I had pastries. I was eating pastries.
You had pastries while eating pastries
while eating pastries.
Wow. And we also have Derek Anderson, the DA.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Are you surviving well over with all the?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, look, you just got to stay away from the stupidity. But yeah, like about maybe a mile and a half up the road, they were shooting fireworks at the cops, and it was ridiculous, man.
What?
Really stupid stuff going on in this city.
How is that possible?
Other than that, yeah, everything's good.
How I'd like to really know what the truth is, because when I watched the news, you know what I heard? I heard it was peaceful.
Demonstrations had been going on right outside the Federal Detention Center. Most of those demonstrators were very peaceful. They were chanting, they were shouting. People were driving by, honking their horns. And again, they were expressing their anger about the detention of so many
They're mostly peaceful.
at the Federal Center.
Peaceful. Oh no. It's every single channel. I'm just going to show.
But it's so peaceful.
And that's when the whores come in.
Yeah, that's damn right. And Verbal is joining us. Hey, Donde, how you doing?
Hey, doing all right, man. I'm alive.
You're alive. That's good. That's good. That's the way to go. You show them how to do it over there. I mean, they never like bartenders and YouTubers. Like, what the fuck? But everybody's saying how peaceful it is. So I wanted y'all to give us, kind of a blow by blow.
We agree that if you're being violent, you should be arrested, you should be prosecuted. There is no disagreement on that. I think that's an effort that we can all take. But this is not what's happening. We are having an administration that's targeting peaceful protests, people that are there to protest.
So without driving y'all all crazy, every news channel has the same thing going on. peaceful protesters being attacked by the administration, peaceful protests who are peacefully protesting.
They peacefully set that car on fire.
Right.
Yeah.
Except then when you look at the actual video, I was like, how peaceful really is this protest? As you gentlemen are there.
Yeah, they have to call it a peaceful protest. They can't admit that they're the party of intolerance and destruction.
But January 6th.
I know, it's so ridiculous. You have a muse put together this. I'm trying to, here we go, blow it up. There we go. This is just clips from every one of the riots and encounters.
I can hear him singing Kumbaya from here, George.
Was that what that was? I thought that was bullets. I thought that was
so
people
peaceful. All I hear is Kumbaya, my lord, Kumbaya.
Yeah, JPS. Member for a month, nothing to see here. Just 3 dudes flicking you off. It's insane. The amount. It's like you think that we're back in like 2010, 2015, where they can kind of pull this crap and no one's going to notice, but we all know. It's like the jig is up. But and here's this one gentleman. He wanted to ask everybody a question, which I thought was fair. He wants to ask, so I want to get y'all's opinion. I figure since y'all live in California, this affects you.
I don't.
Are you?
Well, you don't.
Happy with the ICE raids that are occurring at restaurants and sites? If you are, I want to hear from you. I really want to know why you think that's a good thing for us. Yes, they are illegal. They broke a law.
There's your answer right there.
That's it.
From them, they provide a service.
We do, huh?
Cost to us.
So slave labor.
Slave labor.
There you go. See, you nailed it. So he goes on for a little while, for another about 30 seconds, and he's like, they haven't done anything wrong. They just, came here illegally. We need him. And I'm like, okay, let's actually break down really quickly how illegal immigration helps the United States. The average student in the United States, depending which state you're from, costs the public, for public school, anywhere from $10,000 to $17,000. That's not medical care. That's not after school care. That's not feeding, nothing. Then you have rent goes up, housing prices go up. You also have the companies are the only ones that benefit because they get cheap slave labor. Well, killing the middle class. Am I missing anything here?
I think the only thing missing, and this is just from the perspective of a northerner, is that, this is, I think, correct across any kind of situation where you have not been applying the law equally for many, many years.
Right.
And then suddenly you decide to actually uphold the law. Is that the fault of the illegal immigrants that have been here for 20, 30 years? That have now found a home, established themselves. Yeah, the law is the law. I mean, nobody can argue with what's illegal or not illegal. But, there is something to be said for, why governments in the past have not applied the law up until now.
Right.
And so you're going to get pushback. You're going to get pushback just from the people who are saying this is not fair. And they actually have every right to say it's not fair.
Of course, anybody has that.
It's not illegal, but why are you doing this now? And is there any way of actually doing it? Is this something that you can do slowly, for instance? I have no idea, right? Can you ease this in so people kind of understand what's going on? I mean, you in the United States have had several, what is it, not moratoriums, what is it when?
Amnesty.
Amnesties. Yes, you've had several.
Reagan started one, which started this whole debacle in '84.
So you've had amnesties. So again, people are going, well, there's just going to be another amnesty. You've set the expectations.
But that was 40.
Well, to piggyback off of Paul, though, he's right in the way that, California has had Democratic governors. They've had Republican governors. All of them were okay with this up until now, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not like, oh, California's blue and all these Democrat politicians. No, the Republicans were okay with it too here.
They
so
were.
It's not like it was just the Democrats on this. My problem with this is, look, I get it. They're here illegal, whatever. You uphold the law. My problem is not even that. My problem is the the rounding up of people who aren't illegal that they're fucking around with and shipping out, right? Like for me,
who?
Look, man, I'm not regretting my vote for Trump yet. But like I said, I don't pick a fucking side. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat.
Right.
And you got to prove your fucking worth. If you're going to do it right. If you're going to go after illegals, okay, they're illegal. I get that. Don't go after people who are here legally and ship them to fucking Mexico when they're not even from there, right? And by the way, also, even if they're here illegally, if they're not from Mexico, don't ship them to a fucking country that they're not even from. Right? Like,
Is this a problem? This is the first I'm hearing about this.
Like it's
this is the stuff that's happening right now, and it's like, look, I get upholding the law. My problem is do it right. Don't do it. Don't put it on the fucking
agree
show.
with you.
And I got to tell you right now, with all the shit going on with Trump and Elon, and everything feels like a big fucking show right now, and nothing's really fucking happening, and that's what's pissing me off.
Well, I can tell you're pissed off. The thing I don't get is the fact that. What did we talk about over the last few months before the election and after it? It's like one of the key problems is illegal immigration. Not only is it basically indentured servitude, it's slave labor that kills the entire middle class.
I agree with that.
We got crime. America has enough crime on its own. You allow 21 million people to invade. You have now every crime they commit is a crime that should not have existed. Every death, every rape, every murder should not have existed. So now,
but you go after those fucking people. You don't go after people who are actually fucking citizens.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But let's be realistic. It's impossible. No one's perfect. Not fucking Trump. Nobody. I don't care. Jesus Christ. If you had Jesus Christ up there, you would have people in the government who'd screwed up because they're human beings. You're gonna pick. They've had it happen 4 weeks ago in Philadelphia. You had a gentleman who went in for, I think it was like not a parking ticket. He had like a couple of parking ticket warrants, and ICE arrested him. He's like, guys, I'm a citizen. He's like, I'm a citizen. He's like, you need to check your records again. So they put him in the truck. They checked it. 2 hours later, they let him go. I'm pulling up the clip now in a second. The guy gets out and he goes, you know what? I voted for Trump. I'd vote for him again because there is no perfect system. It just doesn't exist. You want to grab everybody up when they make a mistake, they'll bring them back. The reason it's happening in Mexico, because I've heard this complaint for the last 24 hours, is because we have third country agreements. Let's say they're from Guatemala or Nicaragua or they're from Costa Rica or San Salvador or Honduras. You know what they do? They're like, okay, we're going to send them there, and they have an agreement, and then they're going to be third-partied out to the other countries. The problem is this, and again, I hear your anger, Dante, but I want to ask you, if you know that to get the country that you were promised to fix this, right, it's going to require things that are not nice. Mistakes are going to happen. That's wrong. There's no way to avoid them. We have to be grown-ups and accept that. They bring people back.
So we sacrifice citizens?
No, I didn't say sacrifice. It's not possible. Is there anything perfect in this world? They bring them back. It's happened already 4 times in the last 4 months. They brought them back. I don't know if they cut them some settlement, but they're like, it just happens because there's no perfect system.
I don't think people are going out of their way to deport citizens.
No.
I think there may be some mistakes being made, and that does happen anytime you have a sloppy immigration network the way that we have. The biggest problem, in my opinion, number one, is, they had their opportunities to work and, coordinate with the Trump administration when Tom Homan said, hey, sanctuary cities, why don't you let us into your jails and let us get your actual criminals and get those guys out of the country? And the sanctuary city said, no, we don't want to cooperate with the Trump administration. So now basically ICE has to go into the neighborhoods, just like Tom Homan said they would, and go wherever the illegals may happen to be. And if we so happen to run into people that, hey, maybe they're not criminals, maybe they're actually okay, they're hardworking individuals, but they get caught up in the mix, it is what it is. But we told you guys, hey, let us get into your jails and get the actual criminals out of the country. Let us start there, and then we'll work our way through the rest of the illegal immigrants at a later time. But see, what's happening right now is that everybody's getting caught up, okay? Good people, bad people, they're all getting thrown into the same mix, and it is what it is. At some point in time, the sanctuary cities need to understand that these policies are not going to work when it comes to this particular president and this administration. That's number one. Number two, Obama was deporting people left, right, and center, and there was none of this outrage. All right. Does anybody remember all of this outrage? Yeah, there was a little bit, but there were no demonstrations, people marching through the streets, people waving all of these flags, going absolutely ape shit because there's some illegals getting deported. Obama deported. He was the deporter in chief, and nobody cared. Nobody cared. CNN didn't care. MSNBC didn't care. This is all, again, Democrats, leftist media bullshit. That's all this is. All of this outrage. All right. The people that actually live here know good illegals, bad illegals. We know them. We talk to them and everything. This, it is what it is. But nobody was tripping. Nobody had this problem, okay, until it was Trump. This is a Trump problem. This is all about Trump. That's the only reason that all of this microscope is being put on this situation, because when Obama was doing it, everything was gravy. So
the children in cages. Remember that, DA? The children in cages.
Yeah, the children in cages started with Obama. But when Trump came in, oh my God, there's children in cages. And it's like, well, it was children. He built the cages. You know what I'm saying? So like, what are y'all talking about?
No, I agree with that.
I just think outrage. That's what I don't like.
I just think it needs to sharpen up. Like whatever they're doing, the procedures need to sharpen up. Like they need to be a little bit better with what they're doing.
I don't know.
Because right now everything looks sloppy to me.
I don't know, Verbal. I'm looking around and I'm not finding any evidence really of what you're talking about. I found a couple. And in most cases, from what it said here, it's a situation where they have criminal backgrounds and their original country won't take them. Yeah. So they get deported to a completely different country. That's what's happening, is what it sounds like to me. Now, I'm not saying that's every case, but I can't find a mass problem of what you're talking about here. I'm finding a few similar stories to this, but I don't know. Please send me some more evidence on this, because this is the first time hearing about this kind of crap. Because to me, it sounds like it's people who have criminal backgrounds, who got kicked out of their country or for whatever reason are here, and then when they try to send them back, their country won't take them.
Well, there is a situation where some people are being deported to South Sudan.
Yeah,
that are
I found something about that, but like,
yeah, like that was like basically we're sending them over to like a war-torn like country in the middle of the Civil War.
But that's related to the story I sent in the background here too.
Yeah. Right, because their countries won't take them sometimes. It's the same thing with El Salvador.
Deported to some other country, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, so this is interesting. I mean, that's why I'm saying a lot's going on, and I'm watching people, and they're basically flipping out.
Yeah, and look, what I'm saying is, I have no problem with people who are illegal. If you did it wrong, yeah, and especially if you're a criminal, you need to go. My thing is, you got to sharpen these procedures up a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like they need to be a little bit more tactical and a lot less blunt.
What do you mean?
Meaning, blunt. Like, if you're going to raise something, at least have like real solid evidence that what you're raiding is a place where there's actual like illegal people. Like, you don't go into a place like fucking downtown LA and just do a blanket raid.
But see, I think that's one of the points that DA was bringing up, is the fact that in the beginning, Holman kept saying, let us go into all the jails around the country. We grab everybody up. He goes, otherwise we have to go into the community. They're forced.
Yeah, it would be a lot easier and more tactical if they would allow them to just come in, but they weren't. There's a rift between these sanctuary cities and the Trump administration. They don't want to cooperate. That's where the whole disconnection is. That's why they're just like, okay, well, we're good. It's going to happen sooner or later, and if we're going to do it by force, and we're going to do it by force. But if they were to work together, then it wouldn't be this way.
Sure, I agree with that. And I think there's obviously going to be pushback from blue cities or blue states, but
see, now that's where I would agree with you, Dante, where I think is that Pam Bondi has fallen down on the job. And I really want to hear what Paul has to say. Do you think, Paul, that the people the mayors, the city councilmen, the governors who are leading sanctuary cities violating federal immigration law, like they originally said, should be arrested? Because that would start putting an end to it. Once you arrest a couple of governors, a couple of mayors, the next guy in line is going to be like, okay, yeah, you can go into my jails and do this peacefully.
Well, to me, the overall thing is you've got a population, the great unwashed, or the great wash, whatever you want to call it, the silent majority, as we used to call it, who are looking at all this, all these charades and getting really mad at everybody.
Yeah.
And I don't think I think everybody has got this has been a massive error from the get-go, and including the sanctuary city mayors who are doing this to posture. And I believe there's this hilarious moment where I think it was DeSantis sent up a whole bunch of immigrants, illegal immigrants or whatever, up to New York. And
Yeah,
then
so did Texas.
The New York mayor said, we need to get rid of these illegal immigrants. They shouldn't be coming here. And I'm going, see, what people don't understand, or the politicians don't understand, and the people in power don't, is that we just want fairness. We want the laws applied equally across the board. We here in Canada, we just let off an individual in BC who's now had his 30th drunk driving conviction, and they wouldn't give him a conviction past a certain amount of time because it would mean instant deportation back to his home country. So
was it Wisconsin?
Yes.
That's what I figured.
And
those are rookie numbers for us.
Oh yeah, he was drunk on milk. And so the thing is, from the perspective of a citizen, we're going, that's not fair. And we're seeing this more and more. Simone, what's her name?
Biles.
Simone Biles, who suddenly is
everywhere
pro-trans and dissing Riley Gaines, another Olympian. I mean,
yeah, because she's
you're
a
looking
puppet.
at this and going, this is just not fair. We are living in a world where the world around us seems to be burning down around our ears, and we have nothing to do with it. Dante, DA, everyone here, none of us have anything to do with what these idiots are inflicting on us, and we're getting very frustrated. To me, it's all part of the same story.
Yeah, and I agree. Look, and maybe because I'm closest to it right now, right? I live basically in downtown, near downtown. I'm like right outside. So I'm seeing the fucking National Guard and shit. I'm seeing like the shit happen in front of me.
Yeah.
So just as someone who's just tired of this shit and just tired of incompetence overall, I just
it went out. He stalled. Okay, we'll wait for him to come back. Yeah, bros. While he's coming back, I'll play this last clip and then we'll wait for Dante and he can tell us what finish his thought.
Maybe one of the rioters got after him.
God, I hope not. But but you have you talk about how they were inciting. This is supposed to be a council member in LA. Derek, is this a council member?
Yes,
I just want to verify. Okay.
They know how quickly we mobilize. That's why they're changing tactics, because community defense works and our resistance has slowed them down before. And if they're escalating their tactics, then so are we. When they show up, we gotta show up even stronger.
See, to me, arrest her ass.
Yeah,
to me, that sounds like inciting.
She looks like she's benefiting a lot from our system. I'll tell you that.
And I don't see how she can mobilize fast.
She can't, trust me.
Like I'm
not unless she's rolling down a hill, Paul.
And yeah, unless she's on an electric scooter, there ain't no mobilizing fast for her. That's all I have.
Nope. Well, we'll wait a second.
Hold on, wait, I'm mobilizing. Give me give me a few more minutes.
You're gonna kill me, Paul.
All right, I'm gonna read. Stop being out of breath.
Exactly. I'm gonna read a few super chats till he gets right back. All right. Way too dumb what? Way too dumb okay, for $2. Way to go. Okay. Steph, love you long time. Okay. When we go on a date, I pay. All right. Hey, loves you, Steph. I was like, man, am I reading this?
Nice.
Verbal.
Sorry about that. Yeah, my Wi-Fi's been wilding out all day today. I don't know what's going on.
It's probably because the National Guard is
going on down there.
Yeah, like it's been bad all day.
So what were you going to say? You were in the middle of your sentence. I said we wait.
I forgot.
You said you were
you were the closest to this. You got the National Guard right outside.
Yeah. I was just saying that, because I'm in this. It's like, sort of. It's aggravating.
Yeah,
because I can't even really go out and like I can't even go shopping. I can't go out anywhere because of the weird shit going on outside right now.
Do you think they're going to mistake you for someone that needs to be deported?
No, but I mean, people are shooting out here, man. This isn't fucking like.
Yeah, but that's why I said. But I'm glad you brought that up. That's why this whole BS from the other side, it's peaceful. They keep telling people when you watch.
Oh no, it's definitely not peaceful.
They're telling people you can go about your business.
Definitely not peaceful.
Okay. Yeah, that's insane. So I understand then your frustration. You're talking about it's affecting your life.
Right. And look, I know that sounds selfish and all, but here's the thing. I just feel like when you have something as big as this or as crazy as this, the margin for error should be very slim, right? So just have a plan before you go in. Don't just say, hey, we're going to raid this place and see what happens, right?
I'm going to tell you, it's going to get much.
I highly doubt that there's no plan before they go in.
Right.
Like they have to have like warrants and all that stuff. So there is a plan. I highly doubt. It's just incredibly messy with people not letting them do their jobs right now.
Right.
You know, there's all of these people getting in the way, and it's just escalating and escalating and escalating to this point.
Yeah,
you know,
and then you got
they could have just
councilwomen
gone in, done their jobs, and be done with it. But it's the citizens, it's the people that are getting in their way. They can't do their jobs.
Right.
So I don't understand all of this advocating for something for people who are here illegally.
Yeah,
they are
that's what
committing
I don't
a crime.
Understand.
Yeah, I don't understand it either.
Like that's it. They're here illegally. They're committing a crime. It's the very first thing that they did when entering the United States was committing a crime. They're not here legally. They didn't go through the legal channels. So that's why we have this whole department. Let them do their freaking jobs. That's all you need to do. But no, they have all of these people getting in their way and they can't do their job. So it's escalated to a point where, okay, now they're getting spat on by people. They're getting pushed by people. They're having to, what is it?
They're getting locked up. They come on.
Pepper spray people. Now it's escalating even more because even more people are coming out at night and getting in their way. So now it's escalated even more because now they're having to call the National Guard because people won't let them do their jobs. This is what they are hired to do. This is a whole department that is hired to do a certain thing, a certain job, and people aren't letting them do it. So it is escalating. They tried to go through the proper channels. They tried to do it in a peaceful way, and now they can't do it anymore because why? People are getting in the way. So like it's not something that just happened. It's not unorganized or anything. They had a way to do it, and now it's just escalated because people are getting in their way of doing their jobs.
Oh yeah, and I'm not saying that. I mean, Gavin Newsom is definitely the villain in this. He is the villain. I will curse that man's name for as long as I live. Gavin Newsom is the fucking devil and an evil motherfucker, and he's the one that kind of orchestrated all this. And Karen Bass is like his little lackey. That's why she hasn't been fired yet.
Yep. Have you heard from her?
Keep in mind, it's not just that they.
Yeah, she spoke. She's
in
put
their
out
way.
several. What's that?
No, I'll say just keep in mind the problems that ICE is dealing with, not just the politicians getting in their way and the sanctuary city shit, but they're also getting doxxed. All right. So if they go out without a mask on, they're getting doxxed and their families are getting threatened. Like people are escalating this to a level that it doesn't need to go to. Mm-hmm. Got the city councilwoman out here calling on escalation. It's like when you have the politicians not trying to calm shit down, but, trying to, hype it up and get more people involved. And then when the National Guard comes in, then you're saying, oh my God, it's Trump trying to institute martial law. And it's like, nah, he's trying to get shit under control because you guys can't. All right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Gavin Newsom can't get shit under control. So, but then Gavin Newsom says, well, you're just trying to escalate things. It's like, bro, you are fucking up in the worst possible way as a governor. That's the shit that pisses me off.
100%.
How many? On top of the fact that you got, it's ridiculous, man.
How many kids died last year from illegal alien crime? I mean, we have it all the time. We're talking about sons and daughters. But where did the bricks show up? Did y'all see the reporting about the bricks? We got two more clips than when.
Oh yeah, the cinder blocks always mysteriously show up.
They
to
always
these
do
things.
this.
Out of fucking nowhere. It's like
out of nowhere.
Where people? But you know how? You know who figured it out? Here, I'm just going to blow your mind really quick.
What were these being used for?
They were breaking them up and throwing them at the National Guard and at ICE.
Oh,
but they showed up on multiple corners. Multiple corners. It's like, oh, look.
By the way, this also happened during the Summer of Love.
It did.
Sure did.
Bricks everywhere. It's really insane what's going on.
It's about to be Summer of Love 2.0.
I think so. Except I think there's something different with this. I think the difference is, let me pull this down real quick. I think what you have here is, if you notice when you see a lot of the footage, you're going to notice there are a lot of people with keffiyehs on. This is the merging of kind of like the red-green movement. You're talking about communists, also with Islamic radicals. Go take a look at it. A lot of them have keffiyeh. Same people who are protesting at Columbia University or UCLA or Berkeley. They're all like, half of them have a flag where they're waving it for Mexico, and the other half, Free Palestine crap.
So, George, you have no idea. I was on the subway. I was on the subway yesterday, and I saw trains of people coming into downtown LA to protest and riot.
Yeah, it's
like they all had their gear on, and they were just ready for it. So they're ready for a fight, and that's what's happening right now.
And so that's why I get your frustration. That's why I wanted to go through it, because that's the way we discover what's going on. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of Data Republican on X. Have y'all heard of him?
No.
Okay. Well, Data Republican is pretty big. And he tracked it down. Where the fuck did you go? Here it is. I hate when you get slow. Come on.
So those bricks were set up like they bought it at the Antifa warehouse and they were shipped down.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so just for the purposes of them to chuck at ICE. I mean, I do understand that ICE is trying to get Musk to take him back to South Africa, but that's a different issue. I wonder who started that. Couldn't think of someone who would like launch ICE against Musk. But so I mean, part of the issue is, and I think you mentioned it, George, is that if Obama was in power right now, there wouldn't be any riots, really. I don't think. A lot of this is, as you guys have already discussed, it's a reaction. It's an anti-West reaction, and now we have anti-West symbols such as the keffiyeh head diaper and the certain flag and things like that, and everything has been conflated. I find this a very interesting time. I don't know how it's going to end, but it is going to end soon because it's not sustainable.
No.
There's National Guard and active Marines. Marines
on
U.S. soil.
That'll stop it. That'll stop it. But we have a problem in Canada. But we have this weird confluence of bizarre bedfellows. Like I'm sure that there were also not necessarily trans people, but people protesting for trans rights, along with people wearing the keffiyeh and with Antifa outfits, all part of the riot. Like, this is the weirdest group of people. Mostly you could put them under the ban of some Marxist communist thing.
Yeah, neo-Marxist,
without trying to get into a McCarthy-esque kind of, bizarreness. But there's an anti-West contingent that have formed. I don't know how they're going to be sustainable. I don't know where the money is coming from.
Well, you're about to find out. Data Republican, I've been corrected, is a woman, correct? Is now being reported on several news sites. Okay, so Data Republican, she's saying hundreds took to the streets this weekend, blocking roads, attacking federal officers, even burning flags, but this wasn't spontaneous outrage. This was organized, funded, coordinated.
Of course.
Here's a breakdown of the groups. Y'all are going to be pissed, Derek, and Verbal, you're paying for it. What's better than... Hey, where did you go? Damn it, the thread. Come on, there we go. Okay, a number of NGOs have been implicated in this. Foremost is Coalition for Human Immigration Rights, or CHIRLA, and the photos of signs show they were printed by Party for Socialism and Liberation.
There you go.
And who pays for that? Well, they got, where is it? Most of it is private funding, appears to be from DAFs, which are the hardest to trace. However, 34 million of its reported 45 million, which was from last year. It comes from who? California. Government. Nope. Only 400,000 came from it last year. The rest of it comes from California taxpayers. They give money to these organizations. You pay taxes, so California can dole it out to these groups so then they can riot. Just thought that was an interesting.
Not surprised.
I was actually surprised at the amount. The amount.
No, well, this is like this old Bill Cosby joke where he said, my dad told me to go get a stick that I could then use, that he could use to beat me with. I mean, that's what's going on here. Hey, California taxpayers, go out, grab that stick so someone can hit you with it.
Right. It's nuts. And here's the last clip. This is where people yesterday had barricaded in the National Guard plus size inside the building. Personally, me, I'd come out shoot all the motherfuckers.
What do these people do for a living?
They're paid agitators.
They're paid to protest.
Okay.
Some of them are actual just people.
Yeah, I'm sure people gravitate to it. You know, we got the ones who stir it all up, and I can't understand when they shout. What the? Now tell me, if those people had a MAGA flag or MAGA hats, they wouldn't, and under Biden, they wouldn't have already been all shot or arrested.
I think they're yelling, "No more girl bosses, Disney."
Now they're bringing.
Oh, bollards. They're hitting bollards.
It's because they used them to throw the.
Oh, they want something to heave.
Yep. I guess they weren't near the pallets. They're like, damn it.
I'm Giovanna Lotta. You're taking a live look at one of the protests underway in Los Angeles just a few hours after the mass immigration raids. Chris Christie is live in Air 7 with the latest. Chris.
That's right, Giovanna. It's a major protest going on about 2 hours now. Close to 1,000 people now wrapping around the detention facility between Alameda and Los Angeles Street. They started on the front steps of the federal building at 300 Los Angeles, now marching down Aliso. And the lead there is that cattle truck leading the pack as they make the turn onto Alameda Street. The strategy here is to basically encircle the detention facility, which is that building right.
All right, we've seen it. Yeah, would y'all consider this is similar to 92 to the Rodney King, or it's not that big yet? Anyone?
Oh, this is rookie
different
compared
than
to that,
Rodney
I
King.
think.
No, the 90% of the people there are anti-Western agitators. Has nothing to do with the story at all.
No, it doesn't. I'm just curious about the size and the violence.
Yeah,
Rodney
Rodney
was
King,
great
it was a
there.
lot more of I would say it was a lot more individual things jumping off. It wasn't so much a protest marching in the streets. It was more like just individual acts of violence just coalescing all over the city. Like there's something's going over here, something's going on over there, something's going on down the street, and everybody's like, people are out in the streets just looting, robbing. But it wasn't so much like, if this seems like it's more coordinated. Like
Right.
Paul's saying, these are these are Western hating agitators marching down the street, stirring up shit. That's what this
Communists.
is. Yeah, basically communists. Yeah. With Rodney King, it was more like, hey, let's go loot this store. And then, a pack of people, oh, okay, they're looting this store. There's another store. Let's go loot that, and then everybody spreading all over until, of course, they got to Koreatown. And then Koreatown.
The rooftop Koreans showed them.
They shut it down fast.
Dude, I got to tell you, what seeing that live, the rooftop Koreans, because I was like a senior in high school when the LA riots happened, and I lived in that neighborhood where they were sniping people. Man, it was a wild scene.
That was
Oh, wow.
Like those Koreans were down, dude. Like,
So this is like what, half the size of it? What we're seeing now of those riots? Would you say from your experience?
oh yeah,
I mean,
easily.
the riots were everywhere, man. They were all over the city. Like, it didn't matter what corner. Like, I was still able to go to the movies yesterday. I was like,
Okay.
nothing's going on in my area. I'm just going to slide over to the movies and have a good time. But like, there was none of that going on in 92. Like, nah, I'm staying in. I'm not going nowhere because people are getting killed out here. People are getting robbed in the middle of the street. If I drove my car somewhere, somebody was probably going to carjack me. So I was like, nah, I'm going to stay in the house. That's how
That was a race riot. That was the big difference here. There,
that was
compared
that
to
was
this.
a whole different matter.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to read super chats, then we're going to move on because he brought up movies. Did anybody see Ballerina?
Nobody
Yeah.
saw it.
I have not.
I haven't. I was supposed to go yesterday. I wasn't able to.
I saw it.
It's good.
It is very good. You know what I was shocked by? And let me read these super chats real quick and then I'll get to it. Tender Warrior 68 gifted 5 Georgia Giant Slayer memberships. Thank you, my good friend. Please, everybody go thank Tender Warrior. That's beautiful. And we also have John Cacos, another good friend, for $10. Contrast. While rioters in LA were waving Mexican flags and assaulting officers, I was in Tijuana filming volunteers. I thought it was going to have a punchline, a donkey or something. Filming volunteers, gringos and Mexicans making change by building homes for impoverished Mexicans. Hey, John always does such good things. Thank you for letting me know. Appreciate that. Beach Dad, member per month. Where is the state and city? The state and city leadership has vanished because they want this to explode. I mean, come on. To them, the optics of it is good for them because they have their media buddies backing it up. I think everybody would agree with that, right? Newsom wants this to blow up, right?
I don't know what he stands to benefit if it does.
Well, because he'll score points probably with the Democrats, don't you think? So they'd run him for president. Look,
yeah,
I'm making
Democrats don't really even have a party right now. Like, they're irrelevant. So, like, I don't know what he benefits from this.
I don't know.
And this is his last term, so he's not up for re-election.
I can only see he's either running for president or senator. I don't know.
Or that.
Who knows? Steel Leg of History member for 17 months. Send them all back. Kids, everyone. We had it. Send them all back. Kids, everyone. We've had it. Oh, send them all back. Kids, everyone. We've had it. Cool. Thank you, my good friend. Hope you're being blessed and everything's going well with you. We also got Hanging with Eric and Raph for $5. I don't understand why those who have been here 20 years and never went through the proper channels to get at least a legal status in the U.S. I've asked that question of a couple of people I know. I'm like, if your ass gets deported, I said, I'm not feeling bad for you. They've been here for like 20 years. I'm like, get your shit together. It's like,
you know what? I can answer that actually, because in LA, and just in Southern California in general, but definitely like in LA, when you're an illegal like Latino here, for the most part, you really don't even have to. There's parts of like LA that you don't even have to speak English. Like they have like their own system, their own economy. Like you could just speak Spanish the rest of your life here in LA and really never have to speak English. So that's probably why.
But that's not assimilation.
They don't have to assimilate.
Right, but then that's creating a parallel society, which is brought down. I don't know.
Oh, it totally is. But I'm saying that's the answer to that question. As to why they haven't done it is because they haven't had to.
That's good to know. Good to know. And the last one we got, Matt Ginger became a YouTube member. Thank you for joining, Matt. And wait till you join us on the membership stream. And yes, I know I'm not going to say it. You'll just check the community post and you'll see it. All righty. So Ballerina. I was expecting, I didn't go in this time with a lot of expectations because I was worried. You know, it's like, I really love the Wick films and you're going to go see it. You're going to be let down. But all I got to say is, damn, that is how to make, again, a modern kick-ass female fighter. They had this training montage. Slight spoiler, okay? But it's a John Wick style universe movie, so you can kind of guess what's going to happen. They keep kicking her ass until, correct me if I'm wrong, Derek, where they tell her, look, you can never beat a man in a fair fight. Never going to happen.
Right.
You're going to have to cheat.
Yeah, you got to fight like a girl. They literally say you got to fight like a girl. You got to change the rules. You got to fight by your rules. What are your strengths? You know, you can't just go toe to toe with a dude that's bigger than you, stronger than you, because you're never going to be able to beat him. And I was like, I like the insert of that line in there. It's just like, okay, they're finally acknowledging something that we have been saying for years. These little 90-pound chicks cannot whoop some 250-pound man's ass. It's just not happening.
No.
And they
Too bad
finally
it's not gonna
acknowledge that.
matter,
And then she has to do different things. You know, like, I don't know how tall Anna de Armas is. She's probably like 5'2".
I think Steph can do it.
She's tiny.
She's tiny. She looks tiny. And yeah, every time she goes up against this guy in this training montage, she's getting whooped. She's getting whooped until finally they say, this ain't you. You're going to have to fight differently. So yeah, that plus all of the action in this movie is just spectacular, man. So many great set pieces. Stunt work is phenomenal, man.
It's beautiful. It is. It's beautiful. I only had one gripe, but I have that for every modern Hollywood film, even if it's good. Is basically, how long has it been since we've had sexuality in Hollywood? It's like the woke Gestapo took sexuality out, killed it, and they put it on a damn train to Wokeshowitz, and it's gone. I mean, it's like in this one, You needed to. It's like somebody needs to go into that camp, break up Wolfowitz, and bring back sensuality, because did you see how they kind of dumbed her down? Not dumbed her down, but
Yeah, they
they
did.
didn't play her
Kinda
up.
took away. Yeah, yeah. I mean, and Anna de Armas is, she's very easy on the eyes. They could have
Oh,
really
yeah.
did a whole lot, but they chose not to. And you know what? It didn't bother me that much, but I hear what you're saying, George. To me, it's a really good action movie, and if you like John Wick, you'll like that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
nobody went to watch it. It's like that thing bombed.
It's
at the box
odd.
office.
But you
Yeah,
would think playing to her strengths would be playing to her sexuality, right? Because that's how you
Right, right,
disarm a guy with your
Exactly.
looks, right? And I don't know.
Why
Bad
can't
dream.
they hire Sandel, types like Sandel Bergman?
Do we even have them anymore, like Sandel Bergman?
I mean,
That'd be great.
That she'd be a very convincing, kick-ass female. But they keep hiring these 4'2", 90-pound women.
Do you think maybe it's because they're 4'9"? Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you don't see how ridiculous it is till you watch Captain America: Brave New World. Like that's when you see how ridiculous it is. That girl is a legal midget, and she was taking down dudes who were like 6'5".
No, oh, here we go again. Wednesday. Oh, I gotta tell y'all this. Wednesday, Paul, Steph, we were talking. Dante and Tom and I, we were talking about coming up with a new universe. Tom came up with this. We're like, turn everything into midgets. Star Wars with midgets.
Yep.
Oh, I'm in.
Jaws
Little
with
people
midgets.
pictures, yeah.
Jaws with midgets. We need a bigger boat, but
I would
Just
feel
a little bit bigger boat. But no, the problem with this is it doesn't matter how good this movie is. The audience is just played out on
why?
girl
That's what I
bosses
don't
right
get.
now.
It was
It's
a
Hollywood's
solid
fault because
movie. It's a solid movie.
It doesn't matter. They have shoved so much crap down our throats. People said the same thing about Furiosa, and it was because people just don't care. They don't want to see it anymore. Women don't want to see action films. Men don't want to see little 5'0", 100-pound women kicking the shit out of men anymore in action films. It's gotten old.
But she did it well, though. That's the thing, is they actually nailed it right.
But they've overcooked it. That's what Tom
Exactly.
is saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think that that's why it's getting? I've seen mixed reviews on Ballerina online. Like some people love it, some people hate it. They're just like, it's not good. It's not a good movie. We don't want a female John Wick. Do you think that's why? Is because they've just completely overplayed their hand? People are just sick to see all of these women kind of take the spots of men. Their men.
That's
male
half of it,
predecessors.
I think, and then the other half is with John Wick in general. I think it's just kind of played out.
I
agree
agree with Tom on that.
I think
actually.
in both,
I do think-
this suffers from both levels of it, right?
Yeah, I agree with Tom. I think Wick, as much as I love those films, I think they need to lay off. I think it's just we've had enough of them. Let's try something different and new. And maybe that's what they were trying to do with this one. And there was a time, man, when we liked a badass female. Like you look at a film like La Femme Nikita, right? Like I don't know one guy who didn't like La Femme Nikita, right?
Yeah.
And she was not a big girl,
Or Long Kiss
right?
Goodnight or anything like that.
Or Long Kiss Goodnight, where women are kicking ass. We love that shit, but it's gotten to the point now. And then you're hearing the rumors about Fantastic Four and how Sue Richards is the leader of the Fantastic Four. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the difference there is when those movies came out, those were few in between, right? We would get a Long Kiss Goodnight every once in a while, or you'd get a La Femme Nikita every once in a while. Yeah, now we've gotten, just in the last few years, you've got Lucy, you've got all these other movies on top of all the woke shit we've been dealing with. So no wonder people are just outright just rejecting things like Furiosa and
Lucy.
Ballerina.
I think if it was isolated.
I feel like the problem is that there's no masculine movies to counterbalance all of these,
Not like there used to be.
powerful female leads. Not like there used to be. Like there's no
You get your Jason Statham
Schwarzenegger
movies,
right now.
that's about
There's
it.
no
Yeah.
Rambo movies right now. To counterbalance these female
Jason
women
Statham is
kicking
all we've
these
got,
men's
really.
asses. There's no
Basically.
balance in Hollywood anymore. We don't
But
have
also-
these nice masculine heroes, because right now masculinity is being stripped from men and they're making them more emotional. Like that's pretty much what Hollywood's doing to men right now. They're making them super emotional and in touch with their feelings. And that's their idea of being masculine, because they're weeding out all of the toxic masculinity. And so now all they're left with are their feelings and their emotions. And that's not a male trait. That's a female trait, but they're giving all of the females the male traits and the males the female traits. So it's
agree.
there's no counter. There needs to be a balance again in Hollywood.
But also, it's the fact that it's so unrealistic, right? Because even back in the day, like John Rambo would get his ass kicked, and that was Rambo. You know what I mean? Like Rambo would get like, you know, pretty beat up, and then you see like these females now who barely get a scratch on them after fighting like a dude who's like 7 foot tall. I'm like, what are we doing?
Well, it's like people forget that
that's
Rambo,
the problem.
that
Like
Rocky,
in the John Wick movie, John Wick is it's unrealistic action. Like John Wick falls down a flight of stairs in the last
4
one
hours.
twice,
Yes.
right?
Still
He gets his
falling.
ass kicked all the way
To this
down the flight of
day.
stairs, and he's still able to walk all the way back up there and finish the job. And it's like, all right, man. But it's John Wick. We turn our brains off. We have fun. It's that kind of movie. Ballerina's still in that same vein because this shit that happens to her, it's like, man, no woman would be able to stand up to that. But
And
then you
that's-
remember you're in the John Wick universe.
Yeah.
And that's probable and that's fair. Like I said, the same thing with like Furiosa, but that's the thing. The audience has just had enough of it.
Had enough.
And with John Wick on the other side of it too is you guys just made the joke, right? We all been making the joke for the last couple of years that John Wick is still falling down the stairs, right? Like that's the thing. The whole franchise has kind of gotten to that point where they're almost reaching, you know, Fast and Furious levels. Right. To where, what's next? John Wick in space.
I like John Wick. I do.
I do too, man. I'm all in.
I love John Wick too,
man.
but that's not the point. But like when we only have John Wick and Jason Statham for men to go see, Steph's not wrong. That's what I was getting at is you keep throwing, you know, female spies and action heroes and all this other shit at us constantly and then ask why we don't go see it. Right? Well, this is why, because we don't have anything else to go with it. You know, nobody had a problem with Black Widow being along with Captain America and all those guys. And her movie probably would have been much better and done better had it actually come out 3 years sooner. We've all said that. But that was also before the era of the Lucys and the other ones that where we just got bombarded with tons and tons of these female-led action films.
Atomic Blonde.
Yeah, Atomic Blonde was the other one I was trying to think of. Thank you. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them, right? But it's just we've had so many, too many. It's kind of the same thing with some of the comic book stuff on the other side of it too. Is just how much more of the same thing can we keep watching before they expect us?
From a production point of view, from a producer point of view, does De Armas hold the screen in your estimation?
I think she did.
She does. I don't think she's a
Absolutely.
big enough name yet where she's going to be putting the butts in seats just on her name alone. Like Scarlett Johansson, she'll bring people in, but I don't think Anna de Armas is that.
I
don't know about Scarlett Johansson. I think
I thought she
Jurassic
was awful.
World, the Jurassic Park will bring people in. You know, she's just in the movie.
I think
No, but
Anna
I'm
had
saying like if
gravitas.
Scarlett Johansson was in this movie, like if this
Yeah.
was a Scarlett Johansson vehicle, I think more people would have showed up to watch it than what did this opening weekend. I don't think Anna de Armas is that.
I agree with what he's saying.
No,
Yeah,
but I
she's a
don't
bigger
think she
name.
has it. I honestly thought because I saw her in Ghosted with Chris Evans, and she was like, okay.
No, here they did a better job with her. I know what you're talking about.
Quality is that even in a crappy movie, they shine through.
Yeah.
And Keanu Reeves is a very good example where I think you go to see the John Wick movies because of Keanu Reeves. I mean, he holds the screen. He's a star.
She doesn't shine like that. I will tell you, she doesn't shine like that because when you have even the moments where Keanu is on there, you immediately tell whether you're a John Wick fan or not. He has that it thing.
Well,
where
that's
it's
my point.
Yeah, she doesn't have. I don't think she has that.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, I think you're being way too kind. I'm talking about really Joan Crawford level screen presence.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, Paul. And no, she doesn't have that. I saw her in that movie Blonde, where she plays Marilyn Monroe.
Oh,
that was the most painful movie to sit through. It's not that she was bad. The movie itself was just rough, but she didn't add really anything to it, right? And here's the thing: she's a hot girl. Okay,
Yeah.
she is a blazingly hot girl. Okay,
Yeah, she's
she has a
very
movie coming out with Sydney Sweeney soon, and best believe I'm gonna be there opening night.
I know. Wait, question. Are you buying
does she
her
command the
bathwater?
screen? Does she command the screen? No.
I know what commands the screen. I got a quick question. When you go there, are you taking the bath soap?
I didn't get the bath soap, man.
I know
He was
you
so
did.
mad.
They sold out.
He
They
was
sold
so
out in
mad. He
3
tweeted about
minutes.
It was gone.
I know
Yeah.
you bought it all.
They sold it out in 3 minutes, man. I was in the queue and I didn't even get in. Dude, I felt like I was applying for Comic-Con badges. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
In case the audience doesn't know, yes, this company put out 5,000 bars of Sydney Sweeney's bathwater. That each bar of soap contains a drop of her bathwater.
And by the way, I am a customer of Dr. Squatch. I buy all my soap from Dr. Squatch. I think they have a good brand, a good company. And I thought, hey, since I'm a loyal customer, I should at least get first dibs on this soap, right? Nope.
Oh, you know, want to know a female that held the screen in her day was Pam Grier.
Oh,
Yes, that's
God,
true.
yeah, Pam
But on
Grier.
the Sydney soap thing, real quick, didn't we find out last night that only a few of the bars actually had her? They weren't selling the ones that actually had her bathwater or sweat or whatever in it.
So
those
from
were like
what my
raffled off or whatever.
understanding is that the bar of soap contains a drop of her bathwater, but that they made 100 bars to give away. Like you had to sign up to try and
okay, I
win
misinterpreted. Okay,
a full bar of soap.
I don't want her
that was made of
bathwater.
her bathwater. They only made 100 of those, but I guess like every bar of soap that you sold that has like that was scented and all that stuff contained a drop of her bathwater. That's what I understand.
like?
Bro, they sold out in less than 3 minutes.
Of course they did. They had her all over the internet with her boobs hanging out in the bathtub. I mean,
but what I want to know
every
is that the soap,
teenager
did the bar of soap have a curly hair on it?
Hey, I wasn't going there. She's probably like, bare,
for
shaved.
that price, it better have.
Hey, listen, I'm just telling you.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, we underestimate that scent market like to our detriment, dude. I'm telling you. And believe me, I didn't. I wanted to get like a couple of bars because the resale value would have been like
okay.
Crazy, man. I could pay my rent on that.
I'm with you. I was going to buy one, but I completely forgot that they were on sale. Like I was going to buy it to resell it. Yes, that's what I was going to do.
Look at that shit.
There you go.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I love it.
See, they took money out of my pocket, man.
Sons of bitches.
Wow.
$320.
You know what I could do with $320 buying a bar of soap?
Damn.
I don't
That
even
scent
have
market
$20
is
right now.
juicy.
I'm not gonna lie. I wanted a bar of soap so I could do that exact thing.
Dude, I could have bought my Nintendo Switch if I thought I got a couple of bars of those.
So I guess if you buy them all, do you like get to meet her? Is that what you were, or just want to sell them?
Oh, come on. Oh, let's not pretend why guys are buying this soap, George.
Yeah,
Let's be real here. These guys are going to put that soap in their mouth, guaranteed.
I wasn't
First
going
time
there,
they've
but I
tasted
mean-
soap since they were 12 years old, and they love it.
Guarantee. It's going to be like that scene from A Christmas Story. They're going to be gobbling that soap.
Yep.
Holding it in their mouth.
He's not wrong.
Yep.
No, he is not. Unfortunately, he is not. Wow.
Men are strange creatures. We are indeed.
Damn. Well, Ballerina, what I suggested in the end, I would suggest it. It's a good romp. I think it made 40 million globally. I don't know what its budget was. I think it was 25 million it did over the weekend
They
domestically.
had like 80 million. $80 million budget.
The problem is I just don't think it has legs because you have F1 coming out.
It had
Plus,
reshoots too. People forget that Chad Stahelski came in and did a bunch of reshoots on it.
okay. So above 100 million. So you have F1, Jurassic Park, plus what's the other one?
You got Megan 2.0 is
Megan
coming out.
2.0.
Yeah, you got
And believe it or not,
How to
Megan-
Train Your Dragon. I don't know if that's, but I mean, next week it's going to be flooded, man, with How to Train Your Dragon, all this
I think
stuff.
How to Train Your Dragon
I'm
is going to
excited
do really
for How to
well.
Train Your Dragon.
Because when Lilo and Stitch came out, a lot of people were talking about that. So I think it's going to do.
Well, Alan Ing said How to Train Your Dragon is very good. So
Really?
Yeah, that's some good news.
Even though they changed it up, didn't they change it up?
Just a little bit. He said you don't even notice
I
it.
don't.
Though.
Well,
He's
that's
like,
good then.
It's a solid
Well,
film.
Vikings are black now. So
Well, at least she doesn't look black. So I don't know.
Black-ish.
She's yeah.
She's like 1/8 black. Like she's like an octoroon, man.
So
Like,
she's
I'm more upset that they made one of the twins like super fat. I mean, they look like the number 10 standing next to each other. And they're meant to ride on the same dragon. So like the poster where she's on the dragon, that poor dragon. Like
Is
that
the dragon like
poor
going
neck. The poor neck of the dragon. I'm more mad at that.
So it's like
Okay.
one of those little mules when those fat bitches get on them. Yeah, you feel
So-
bad for the little dog.
yeah, something like that.
But I do think Megan 2.0 is going to be kind of like the black sheep. I think it's going to be the sleeper hit. I think more people are going to show up for that than people realize.
Yeah, the thing with How to Train Your Dragon that's different than Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch was going 2D to live action animation, right?
Yeah.
The dragon is going from 3D animation to live action 3D animation. So there's not a huge leap. Like I remember when the first trailers come out, a lot of people were like saying like the dragon looked exactly like he did in the original cartoon and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's going to make a difference or not, but I think it's going to do well. Jurassic is another one that's odd because we have none of the original people from the original films in it at all. Not even Chris Pratt's or anything like that. And I'm not so sure that Scarlett Johansson's going to bring the adults in. The kids will want to see this, but some of the dinosaurs look weird.
Hey, don't sleep on Jurassic Park movies, man.
I know.
Look,
I know.
I think
I
it's
know.
goofy as hell. I'm not a big fan, but those movies make money.
But the
every
reason they
single
do, and the reason I'm bringing it up is I'm not so sure how these kids are going to react to some of the newer dinosaurs. Like, because kids, when they want dinosaurs, they want the classic T-Rexes, they want the classic Velociraptors and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Did you see what that new
one
one's?
looks weird.
Yeah, I'm not so sure they're not going to want to play with a big fucking turkey. Like, it's what it looks like.
It does look like a turkey. Tom's right with that. I will say this, that I'm looking forward to the next John Wick, whatever happens. But do y'all think Mission Impossible is then done after it hit 450 million globally?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to move much further, man. And I'm going to tell you right now, I love Tom Cruise. I think I would just let him be president of Hollywood, right? I just did not like that last movie. The more I think about it, the worse it gets. It was painful to sit through for 4 fucking hours.
Wow.
That's just too long. It's too long for a movie, man. I felt like certain scenes lasted way too long. I'm like, okay, we could have cut this by like 10 minutes.
An hour.
Like,
don't you think if they killed the exposition in the first 45 minutes, it would have been a better movie?
there's a lot of things they could have done to make it a better movie. And I just and I don't even get me started on how cartoony the villain got towards the end of the film.
You mean the AI, the entity?
I mean Esau Morales' character.
Morales. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Gabriel. I don't know. I didn't honestly, I rank it as the worst Mission Impossible film. I think 2 is better than Mission Impossible Final Reckoning.
I think 2 is aged better than I remember, because 2 was the one that made me quit watching it, and then I watched them all last year or the year before, whenever it was that last one came out before this one. And yeah, like 3 and one of the latter ones were the 2 that I really disliked. 2 was like,
so you didn't like the Seymour Hoffman one?
He's wasted in it. He's wasted in it. He doesn't get anything to do, and the movie itself is just fucking dumb.
I liked his bad guy. He was cold as hell.
I thought he was just kind of boning it in and wasting it. Like, he doesn't do anything. He just sits there and goes, "I'm gonna hurt you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep hurting you.
You did it.
I'm gonna hurt you some more. I'm gonna hurt you some more." It's like, he can do so much more than that.
Well, he could.
Sorry, it just, to me, I was just like, this is the thing that everybody was making such a big deal out of. It just smelled like J.J. Abrams to me. I'm sorry that maybe I've been too poisoned by J.J. Abrams at this point. That's why.
No, Tom, that's fair. That is fair, because fuck that guy. I'm so tired of J.J. Abrams.
Because I love Philip Seymour Hoffman, and I'm like, he just feels like he's phoning it in and he's being wasted here. Like, there's nothing really to his character. It's just,
dude, if I had to choose between J.J. Abrams and Brett Ratner, I would choose fucking Brett Ratner.
Brett Ratner any day of the week. At least it'd be fun.
Yeah, I have heard it all now. I didn't know anybody else.
He's not wrong. Brett Ratner will do shit by the numbers, but at least it's fucking watchable and fun.
Yes, I agree. But real quick, I'm going to read this. Flying blind on a rocket cycle always has great chats. For $5, this could be the first time I've ever washed my mouth out in soap.
Your own mouth out, yes. Yeah.
I like that. I had to read real quick. Let me just read the rest. Eva Williamson gifted 5 Georgia Giant Slayer memberships. Thank you, Eva. Eva? I hope I said that correctly. Is it Eva or Eva? Just tell me in the chat. 1 for Eva, 2 for Eva. Thank you. Please go thank Eva. And we got detailed double for $5. Few U.S. citizens detained, not deported. Some U.S. kids went with parents, can return. Yeah, it's like a story from 3.5 weeks ago. It was all over NBC and MSNBC. They're like, Trump is deporting this girl who's dying. And it's like, no. Her family are all with her. They want to go to help her. And actually, the U.S. government helped her. Some U.S. kids went with parents, can return anytime. Repubs freaked over Elian Gonzalez returned to Cuba. Now Dems turn. I remember that. I remember the images of, the guys with the AR-15s, was it Feds or whoever there was, SWAT, pointing at Elian. Thank you, Detailed Devil. Love that name. Pilgrim Media for $5. Why is Mr. Burnett with Mr. Campia shilling for Disney? I don't think he would call it shilling. He's a longtime friend of his. I don't know what they're talking about. I'd have to go look at it. But thank you for the $5.
Yeah, Robert's never afraid to disagree with Mr. Campia if he has to.
Yeah, I mean, John Campia is like a broken clock, man. So he is right sometimes. Not always.
Once in a blue moon. Almost as much as Grace Randolph.
Oh, well, at least she was right this week. Robbo13 for $2. Nobody to with Bob Odenkirk should be sick. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hell yeah. Flying blind on a rocket cycle. Already did that. And then we got Zeitgeist Ruminator for 10 pounds. Hey, all, just watched Captain African American, and I'm definitely with Dante regarding the Black Thumbelina widow character. Man, she is literally, you could fit her ass in your pocket and pop her out.
Dude, she's 4'11".
I know, but she looks smaller than that. I thought they broke some child labor laws when I saw that. I haven't I mean, could you imagine? You couldn't date her. I could not seriously date her because I'd be like, I can't. You look like a fucking kid. Not me.
She didn't look so much like a kid to me as she reminded me of, like, what was that orphan movie where you have the adult who looks like a kid and these people like adopt them. And they're like a fucking killer. Like, that's what that reminds me of. Because they look like an old person stuck in a little person's body.
Yeah.
And it gives you that weird kind of like, this person's not who they fucking say they are.
I'm sorry.
Like there was a scene where she kind of like, she does that Black Widow thing where she hops on the dude's neck and then flips the guy over. And I'm sitting there looking like, okay, as small as she is and as big as that guy was, honestly, it reminded me of that Ludacris song where he says it feels like a midget is hanging from my necklace. Like she just wasn't hanging there, dude. Like there's no way she would have flipped that guy over.
It's not the actress we're talking about.
I was going to say, I'm not trying to make fun of the actress or anything like that. It's their fault for picking this fucking individual for playing this part. That's the fucking problem.
She should have been in Snow White.
That role of all people, man. I don't get that.
Derek, you brought up a great point. I noticed this about a lot of people today. I watch these shows, and you're like, how the hell did this person get hired? They've hit every fucking branch on the fugly tree all the way down. Like, what agent says, yes, I'm going to make bank with you? I mean, like, I wouldn't put them on a poster board.
You know what, Paul, you can answer that question because, like, I'm sorry. Look, I'm not saying we're the same age, but we both remember a time where you could not. There's no way you could not be hot and be casted.
Right,
unless you're a comedian like Paul, yeah.
And yes, now I have the anecdote where when I was in Hollywood, I was dragged into an senior executive's office, and he threw in a videotape of a bunch of a casting call of women for an upcoming TV show, and his question was, "Are they fuckable?" And I'm not joking.
I believe you.
There it is.
And then he would drag in the secretaries and throw in a cassette of a bunch of male people who were male actors who were auditioning for a role for a police show, and his question to the women was the same. Pick the guy who you think are fuckable. That's the good old Hollywood.
Makes sense.
It makes sense.
Makes sense. Let me finish this.
People like to watch pretty people on screen.
Of course they do. What do you think in Captain America: The First Avenger? They had him come out of the machine.
Oh yeah,
that was for the women.
Yeah, and the other thing that I've talked about, which they've a lot of these places don't understand, is tech porn. So I don't know what kind of tech porn there was in Ballerina, but I mean,
there was some good
John Wick's. There's would you like to sample this gun? Remember, there's that whole
gadget porn. I got you. There was some good stuff. Some good stuff.
That's why we used to love James Bond so much, man. It was for the tech porn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look at the first Iron Man. That is like
heaven.
Yep.
Like
Star Trek is all tech porn, right? I mean,
it
used to be.
Yeah. Well, we don't count that modern shit as Star Trek.
No, that's not. Yeah. So
let's be real.
Yeah, they really lost their way. I'm actually thinking, and I hate to say this, I think Hollywood likes hiring these women who look like 16-year-olds for the pervos who are watching them.
Very plausible.
You might be right on that one.
Because it's weird, because we went from back in the day where it was like, look, we didn't have like the kind of problems we had with like fucking what was that movie called where with the little girls that were dancing around?
Cuties?
Cuties. Yeah, we didn't have those kind of problems because back then we had a bunch of 30-year-olds playing fucking high schoolers all the goddamn time, and that was the joke, right?
Yeah.
Like,
that's
it was never a problem.
Like Brooke Shields and all of them. Yep. Let me finish.
That was the only time you had somebody who was kind of questionable situation, but yeah.
I haven't laughed so hard since Yoda drew his. Let me do this all again because we were talking. Hey, y'all, just watched Captain African American, and I'm definitely with Dante regarding the Black Thumbelina Widow character. I haven't laughed so hard since Yoda drew his lightsaber against Count Dooku. I like that. I'm gonna leave.
It's a man after my own heart because most people give me shit for that. Yeah.
Gear porn. That's the correct word. Thank you, Razorburn.
Gear porn.
Gear porn.
I will say this before we leave Mission Impossible. Tom Cruise just won a Guinness World record for jumping out of using a burning parachute 6 times. Jumping.
Oh,
it was. Yeah, I didn't even know it existed.
There was a world record for that.
Yeah, didn't know. I guess he made it. See, to me, that's worth it. The movie's.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to be deploying. If this is twisted while it's burning, I'm going to be spinning and burn. I have to kick out of the twist and then ignite it to get 10 seconds.
Start soaking the parachute.
We're going to submerge the parachute into the avgas, soak up fuel, so when the parachute opens and ignites it, it'll hold fuel and explode.
For this shot, what are we looking for? It's quite literally establish the objects in your hand and burn the parachute. The more up we're looking, the more the burn we'll get.
Yep. We're going to be real smart. I'm not saying be risky. We don't take risks, obviously.
So what you're going to have to set for this and look up and ignite it.
Okay, let's go.
3, 2, 1, stop!
Come on, he deserves every fucking success just for doing that shit.
This man has no regard for his own life.
I know.
No, look at it here.
I love that he counts himself down when he jumps out of the plane. He's like 3, 2, 1, go.
This man has no regard for his own safety. I don't understand this.
Because he had to. It burns. He's got to fall a little while and then use the spare.
No, I'm saying, why is he even doing this? This man is 67 years old, George.
Yeah, why to do that? Yeah.
He loves it. Didn't you hear during Fallout? No, it was Ghost Protocol. And they were filming, and all of a sudden it was in a German, they had a German news, I think it was Bild had covered. They were filming, and he said about 100 feet away from the set where they were filming in the middle of Berlin, this old woman was being robbed. Like in the middle of the shot, Tom Cruise, they says, runs out, jumps over the bench, and knocks the guy down, saves the woman.
Wow.
Yeah, he's just one of those.
Holy smokes.
Maybe he was meant to like really be a superhero and you know what I mean? Like just in real life, but it's not a thing. So he became an actor.
He's not a tall guy either.
No,
he's like 5'8".
I think his best stunt in the movie was stopping the blades of the helicopter with his tongue. That was.
He's 5'7".
Wow.
It's not a big
off by an inch.
Isn't RDJ shorter than him? Because I remember those lifts and
I've heard that even though everything says he's more than 5'5", I've heard Tom Cruise is 5'5".
5'5"?
How much is RDJ? Does anybody know? Chat.
5'5".
Well, I know Stallone is like 5'7", 5'8". Like he just short,
that's what I've heard too. Yeah,
he's that short. He
doesn't.
doesn't.
Stallone is a short guy, man.
Robert Downey Jr. is 5'8".
Come on, he's taller than Tom Cruise.
I don't believe it.
by an inch,
That's
but
what
yeah.
it says here. It says he's 5'8".
It says that,
But do you remember, Steph? Do you remember those big? If you look for like RDJ and the platform shoes he wore in Iron Man, they're like 3 inches or
Dude,
4 inches.
all these male actors are short though, man. Like I remember when I used to do extra
Short
work
with
on
big heads.
I used to
Short
do
with
extra
big
work on
heads,
90210 back in the day, and I'd be standing next to Jason Priestley and Luke Perry, and I'm like looking down on these dudes. I'm like, Jesus, I thought you guys were bigger than this.
Damn. Well, we know one action star who will never be coming back. Or he's trying to make a comeback, so we'll give him a break. Maybe he will save us.
Oh God,
no.
Oh
no!
What the
Actually, yes.
No!
Wait, what?
God.
Yes.
What did I do to deserve this, motherfucker?
Absolutely.
Oh Lord, that poor horse.
I'm all for this.
No, Steven Seagal was the worst thing that ever happened to action movies.
I know.
Or
My
the
dad-
best
my dad
thing.
loved Steven Seagal.
He likes carrot. What?
He is such a phony fuck.
Okay, can we talk about that dye job though?
Shoe
I
polish.
know. I was just looking at that.
That dye job is wild work, man.
That is shoe polish. That is up and up shoe polish.
Oh hell yeah. I'm a fan.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
What the hell is that? I gotta see that again. What was that? The chicken dance?
He's
Oh,
moving.
I know, but it just, I do, but it just doesn't look right. Oh,
I would watch 2 hours of this.
Yo, he ain't hurting nobody. Let him have his fun.
I know.
I agree, man. This man is
He ain't
living
hurting
his
nobody.
life.
This man live his life.
We gotta mess with him a little bit. Come on.
At our expense, though, god damn it. That's the problem.
I'm sold.
You know the material, the felt that they put on the bottom of lamps that doesn't scratch the table.
Yes.
That's what his hair looks like.
Yes.
It's actually got a name. It's called flocking.
Oh, flocking.
Yes.
Flocking.
okay.
It's called flocking. They glue it on. It looks like he's been
Yeah,
completely.
they do it to
flocked.
toys and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Didn't know that. Look at this.
Yeah, this is flocked. This
It's
stitch
totally
thing
flocked.
that I got here.
Oh,
It
cool.
has that fuzzy
Whoa.
hair on it. Yeah. Yeah. That's what he did to his head, probably.
It's probably the same thing Pedro does. Pedro Pascal says he loves.
Is that
being
how he
led
gets the
by-
salt and pepper?
Yeah. Loves being led by powerful women as Sue Storm takes the lead in Marvel's Fantastic Four.
I don't want to hear that.
He means pegged. He likes
Yes,
getting
he does
pegged.
mean
That's what he
pegged.
like. Yeah,
And
exactly.
you know how you know he means peg? Because he talks about a banana. I'm just like, I'm gonna leave
Look,
it there.
we've all seen him with a light stick, right?
Yeah, he talks about a
Absolutely.
banana. And now he's happy with a banana and a woman. Passing it, using it. He
But
just says-
also, okay, that aside, so they're confirming that we are getting a Sue Storm led team.
yes.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
again,
they
they,
can't even hide
haven't
it.
learned their lesson again.
No.
Yeah, I'll tell you, remember y'all said that the Marvel cats over there, they had ran all the dummies out and everybody was, all the idiots were out of Marvel. I guess
I
they
know.
still there, bro. I guess.
Well,
it's
some of them are, and some of them,
still hanging around, man.
some people are hard to get rid of, man. And like,
Well, we had the same shit happening in Star Wars until the Wokey Wokes won, right? Like it's the same thing here, probably. I believe that fucking shit that's going around that Bob Iger and Feige are at odds right now. I can believe it.
oh, I'm
And
sure
then
they
also-
are.
And some people are like,
Because
well,
he
how come
wanna-
he just
he wants
doesn't
to
fire him?
win,
It's like, well,
man.
that's just not how it works. But yeah.
Because here's the thing: the difference between Feige and Kathleen Kennedy is Kevin Feige you can get rid of.
To a point,
You
yes.
can't get rid
Marvel's-
of. Well,
Kennedy
Marvel
Studios
Studios
in
is
August.
just like Lucasfilm, though, to where it is a
but he's a
technically
lot easier to
separate
get rid of,
entity.
Tom, than Kathleen
In-
Kennedy.
In a way, as far as my understanding is, yes, you are correct. But will that happen?
She's going August.
Yeah,
Well-
you got to also remember that Feige, regardless if he's not getting along with the boss or not, it doesn't really matter. He's Kevin Feige,
Right.
so that's still
Or he
has to
Well,
be taken into
the problem
consideration.
is who do you replace him with?
Right.
Favreau,
That's the other
who
problem.
started the whole
Favreau's not going to take that job.
after he started the whole thing.
No,
Favreau's not going to take that job.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's had his fill.
Well, not only that, he does not want to be tied down to one thing. I don't think.
How would you be tied down if you replaced Kevin Feige? You'd be running the whole thing.
The same way that James Gunn hasn't been able to do anything but DC related shit for the last couple of years, and he won't be doing anything but DC related shit until that's over.
Okay.
Right. You have to basically tie yourself down to the entire franchise at that point.
Gotcha.
That's why J.J. Abrams refused to do the trilogy when he should have in the first place, regardless of how bad it would have turned
Thank
out.
God.
It probably would have been better.
It still would have turned out
probably would have
bad.
been better because at that point you have somebody who's committed to it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing is if you're going to do these kind of things, you almost have to be able to sit down and go, okay, this is, what the future is going to be. And they have to be able to concentrate on it for the next 5-10 years or whatever, if that's what it's going to be.
I don't know anybody
5 other
that
movies on the side.
Who would be willing to take these franchises on after the brand damage that has been done?
I don't know.
Like, who are you going to find out there in Hollywood that wants to try to fix this shit? I don't think anybody can.
I like when something's broken and you fix it. I think it's a challenge, but I'm not one of them. But could you imagine turning the whole ship around? You'd be the person turning it around. Brought back story, brought back real.
Yeah, but they're having problems finding directors, much less someone to lead the studio.
Right. I agree with you. Hold on, we just got Jim Alaska's back. Hey, Jim. Gifted 20 George the Giant Slayer memberships. Love you, my good friend. Thank you. I hope you're doing well. I can't wait to meet up when we all get back together again. Good for you. Thank you. Please, everybody, go thank Jim Alaska. That is awesome. A beautiful sight to see. And we also have Dragon Master gifted 5. George, what the hell was that? It's like my lip did something else than my mouth. Dragon Master.
It's called a stroke.
Yeah, I know. It's not a stroke. It's just me. I'm so
That happens to me all the time.
Gifted 5 George the Giant Slayer memberships. Please go thank Dragon Master. And we got Detailed Devil for $5. Saw MI Saturday. 8.5 out of 10. I'd love if we had black female prez, half as strong, smart with integrity. Coco Gaff won French Open. Yes, then Red Speech. What the fuck? I agree with you. Look, besides the exposition in the beginning and a couple of clunky things, I love. Yes, it's a bad movie in some ways, I think, but I still enjoyed it. And I still would recommend people to support it just because Tom Cruise loves movies. I don't know anybody else who loves making movies as much as him in Hollywood today. Thank you, Detailed Devil.
He cares about storytelling and
he does.
And Hollywood in general. He doesn't want it to fail. He loves the movie theater.
Yes.
The movie going experience. He doesn't want that to go away. And I think he fears that it will. He kind of sees where it's going. So he's really trying to motivate people to get them to go to the theater.
And when was the last time we've seen anything like that, Steph? Nope, I can't remember. Who loves it?
The last time I checked, Hollywood was telling us that the movies aren't made for us and they don't want audiences to go and see their movies. So,
and now he told us to go to hell. It's our fault. Feel like a history for $10. Wanted to give you update on my dad. He had to be taken to the ER the other day. He had really bad pain and a lump on his liver. They gave him meds for the infection, set up some tests. And well, my prayers are with him. I'm sure everybody else, please keep us updated. Thank you, Steele. I'm sorry about that. You'll be in my prayers this week. Zeitgeist Ruminator. Okay, we already got that. All right. Now, has anybody seen? There was a report. I was talking about it with Tom right before we got on the show. Fandango says that they've sold more pre-sale tickets for Fantastic Four than any other movie this year. But I went to Fandango, and I think I agree with that. I went to Fandango and looked at 4 theaters in my area. The max for an 8 p.m. show was 6 people. That's for opening day. So I'd ask you, wherever you're living, if you go check Fandango with your zip code for July 24th, just let me know in the chat. Do you see movie theaters in your area that are actually sold out? Because I think this is bullshit.
Wait, they already sold. They already sold the pre-sale tickets.
Pre-sale tickets are up. Yeah,
It went on sale this week, and they're claiming it's the biggest sales of 2025. Which you could normally say, okay, yeah, I could see that, but I'm with George on this. I'm calling bullshit because I went in for the first 3D IMAX showing, and there was only 3 tickets sold. Went to 7:00 showing that night, and there was only each showing I checked was anywhere between a half a dozen to a dozen seats sold tops. So it's how, and it's not like And that's the other thing we pointed out too, is like, it's not like it was with some of the other films more recently where you had like 20 theaters showing the movie, right? Because there's other movies out there, there's other competition. So it's not just a bunch of people scattered out amongst a bunch of screenings. It's just people I don't think are actually that interested. And you had a bunch of false claims going around that like AMC's website was like crashing and all this business. It's like they had a whole of like 9 reports. So 9 people with shitty internet, right? It wasn't the website. No, but I call big BS on this whole like record for pre-sales. Yeah.
You're right. And they're broadcasting it. They put it on X, they put it on Instagram, they're going everywhere. Fantastic Four sold out, everybody.
Okay, so I just looked up the Burbank 16, which is one of the biggest like movie going theaters in LA. I looked at a 8 o'clock showing, and it's a little over half full.
Okay.
A little, and that's for an opening night.
Right.
At the Burbank 16. So
That's
a little
Thursday
over
or
half.
Friday?
Thursday.
That's a Thursday. So I'll check
That's
Friday
Thursday?
right now. But
okay.
The purpose of that tweet, the purpose of that report is, I saw like 9 or 12 people were having trouble getting onto the site, but it was to activate FOMO in people, right? People are going to be like, oh my gosh, this movie is selling out. I have to get my tickets like right now. That's what the purpose of that tweet was, to activate FOMO in people. They didn't want to miss out on seeing Fantastic Four opening dates, to create this sort of hype around that movie. And so now that it worked, I suppose, in some cases, they can say, oh, guess what? We just sold a record number of tickets for Fantastic Four. Look at that. People are really excited.
all right, George, I'm putting the link in the chat right now. This is for a Friday night at 8 o'clock.
Okay. Paul,
opening weekend.
Let me get it. Okay, it's coming. Paul, did studios ever buy tickets in your days for movies that they wanted to really build up?
Yeah.
When you were in Hollywood, I don't mean your days. Like, I'm just talking about in your experience in Hollywood.
My experience, yeah. I mean, again, I'm more of a TV guy, but Hollywood do anything to inflate numbers. I mean, the big thing in my era would be Sweeps Week. So that would be the equivalent for movies. I can't specifically talk about movies. That's not my my thing. But Sweeps Week in TV land, there'd be about 4 a year. That was huge, and they would do anything to manipulate that, primarily because it affected the value of the advertising, right? So ironically, this kind of not posturing, this type of fakery really is only good for PR and doesn't really do much. I mean, like, are more people now suddenly going to come to the movies because the public has been lied to about the popularity of the movie? Whereas back in the day when the networks kind of fudged the
numbers,
Sweeps Week's numbers, there was a direct correlation to the amount of money that they would make. That's
for advertising.
That's the kind of illegal capitalism we need.
Yeah. Okay. Because look at this, Dante. You're saying this is Burbank?
This is Burbank at 8 o'clock on a Friday night.
So this is opening weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So yeah, tell me again, how is it selling? Yeah.
And the seats that are white are the ones that are still
taken.
for sale.
Are taken. No, they're the ones that are
the ones that are
taken.
taken.
Yeah, everything else is open. Yeah, I know. So it's like, I thought they would be liable for such lies.
Wow, that's terrible.
Yeah.
So this
for a Marvel movie on this scale to be, for pre-sales to be that low is wild.
Yeah.
And then they're selling these. I haven't been able to find a price. I was going to ask Steph if she knew, because I like popcorn buckets, and I missed out on the Mission Impossible one. I'm still trying to find one. But these, how much are these going to go for? Are people going to pay for them?
$80.
How much?
$80 for that one.
Yeah.
$80.
I don't think people are. You think people are going to pay for that after tickets, popcorn, and?
Yeah.
I mean, does it talk? Like, or something?
I don't know if it talks.
Hey, Dante, it's got a mouth for you.
But I'm saying, does it talk? Does it do something besides hold popcorn?
No.
It
lights up. Its eyes light up. And then you got this one.
That's crazy.
And that's 80 also, right?
Oh, I have no idea how much that is. I was just thrown at the $80 Galactus. And I know that like it's a bigger popcorn bucket. The Galactus head is a bigger popcorn bucket than what we're used to with popcorn buckets, but that's just greedy. That's just telling me that like you are literally relying on these popcorn buckets to sell in order to make money at the theater. Like that's what this is. It screams of desperation. Like, please come to and here's the thing though, like a lot of people will get these popcorn buckets and resell them at a higher price. So they're not even going to the theater to like watch the movie. They're just going to buy the popcorn buckets to resell them.
The scalpers are, yeah.
Yeah.
Would anybody?
But, I mean, there is a thing to like the theaters making a lot of money off these. That they like that. Because in fact,
and you can also buy them online as well. So like you
Yeah.
don't even have to go to the movie.
I didn't know that.
You can just buy them online.
I can find my Mission Impossible.
There
one
was
because they were out.
there was a story about when the last Minions movie come out here, the Despicable Me one or whatever, that they made more money off the merchandise they were selling in the lobby in the popcorn buckets than they were the actual movie itself from tickets.
Wow.
All right. And we also got our first look because we covered this on Wednesday, but we only had a still image. But 24 hours ago, they just released a little clip from Andy Serkis's, Andy Serkis's 15-year passion project. 15-year passion project of George Orwell's Animal Farm. And I couldn't believe it, but Rogan's in it. Yep, I can't stand him.
Oh, please. I'm going to lose my shit. Fucking Jesus Christ. Seth Rogen should not be working on shit like this. Who the fuck decided to do this? Animal Farm is not some kid's fucking Pixar goddamn.
It's Andy Serkis. You can blame Andy Serkis.
I don't know. I don't know at what point.
But I'm gonna
at what point like Seth Rogen became as big as he is. Like, 'cause I'm still shocked by this. Like, at what point did he become a guy when did he become the go-to guy?
I have no idea. But I want to finish it for the audience real quick.
Sorry, he does not belong in this shit.
I know. Mute your.
Oh no,
mic.
it is totally that. He should not be in fucking Animal Farm.
No,
well, I just
agree.
can't stand like Seth Rogen's voice. I think like him and Aquafina have the worst sounding voices, and I can't stand it when they're in voiceover like animation movies.
I agree.
I just can't stand their voices. They're like nails on chalkboard.
All right, Tom, mute your headphones. I want to finish this for the audience.
All right.
Because I want to finish this.
Oh, no, I was using props.
All right, that shit. That is nothing like what's in the
They're
book.
making Orwell's Animal Farm into a comedy.
It looks like it. Yeah, it looks like it. I have no-
They're making it digestible for children. That's what they're doing.
Well, the pigs are the fascists. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But they
We got to make fascism great again, I guess, or make it
And what's
clean it up for the
Rogan
kids
doing
again.
as a kosher
I
pig?
don't-
Yeah, I know it doesn't.
Well, because remember, they're called fascist pigs, right? So fascist pig. That's
I know. It doesn't make sense. It was a
Here's the hammer.
warning.
Let me hit you over the head with it a few times.
It was a warning, not a fucking. All right.
Well, what? I don't understand this touchy-feely version of Animal Farm.
Tom was correct. This was not meant for a Pixar movie. Stop.
You know what though? I got to say, I can't wait for the Kevin Hart version of 1984.
Fuck yeah.
Him and The
Coming
Rock.
this fall, Eddie Murphy in Fahrenheit 451 from Pixar. Man, this fire's hot. Jesus. Oh, this fire.
Yeah.
Now, Seth was Donkey Kong he did the voiceover, and I thought he was fine.
He was fine in that. He was
Donkey
fine.
Kong is in his wheelhouse, right? Like yeah.
I didn't like him as Donkey Kong.
I didn't like him either, but I understand
like
Donkey
him.
Kong.
Especially when he did his stupid laugh as
Oh.
Donkey.
I agree, Steph.
Well, now
At least-
Steph that you mentioned it, yeah. Now
at least it makes sense why a dozen people would say yes to Seth Rogen being in playing Donkey Kong. It makes absolutely no fucking sense why you would put Seth Rogen in Animal Farm of all things, and you would think that fucking Andy Serkis, first of all, would be smart enough not to turn it into some kid's Pixar
That's
movie
what I was
comedy.
thinking.
What the fuck is going on here? Are we
I
in
think
fucking
John
the
G.
Twilight Zone?
I'm
Directed by
starting-
Ben Stiller? What's next?
I am now believe we are in a simulation. Outside of that, John
That was
G.
your
nailed
segue,
it.
by the way.
Yes, I'm going to it. You are right. John G nailed it though. 1980 more. 80 more. 1984. I got too much of that espresso liquor in my coffee. 1984, the feel-good movie of the year. Yep, that's not what Orwell intended it to be.
I'm sorry I woke up.
It's okay.
And see, George, I told you that espresso liquor in the coffee.
Yeah, because you know why? After the show,
that's the money shot right there.
You're correct. Because I remember how shit I said about, how crap I said it was on Wednesday when we were talking. I said my girlfriend gave it to me, and she's like, after I got off, she's like, "What did you say?" I'm like, "I said it was crap because it is crap." She's like, "Well, did you try it in the coffee?" And then I tried. I was like, "It's okay." I said, "Don't give me this stuff anymore. I appreciate it. Whiskey, scotch, rum, not in the liqueurs." But
you're not supposed to drink that stuff straight.
I don't drink it. So now I put it in the coffee and it's delicious. So I appreciate it. Now let's clear our palates with Matthew McConaughey's new trailer. It's supposed to be good, hopefully.
So Apple Plus, right?
Yep.
It's another dry and windy day in paradise. Face to all drivers. There's a situation developing at Ponderosa Elementary. There are 23 kids who are stranded. Is there anybody in the area that can pick them up? Is there anybody that can go and pick these kids up?
It's supposed to be based on a true story. I really don't know what that means anymore in Hollywood. So who knows?
Okay. It's a story of school bus PTSD.
All right.
They really don't have anyone who knows how to name movies anymore, do they? The Lost Bus.
Should have been The Short Bus.
Yeah, that would have been much better. But I'm bummed. And then we have Ben Stiller as Tom pointed to, which I cannot believe this. I really can't believe it. It just is not imaginable.
Not the person I would have thought to tap for the Twilight Zone.
Ben Stiller. I don't know why I'm saying this. I don't even actually want to read it.
Well, I think it's because of Severance. That was the first season was very innovative, and then the second season fell off.
I know, but Ben Stiller for Twilight Zone, is that what you picture, Paul?
I can see that. Oh no,
Really?
the first season of Severance was brilliant.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fascinating. I didn't like the second. I don't know why.
You can't do a second season of Severance because a lot of Severance was about, okay, what's really going on?
Mm-hmm.
Now that we know what's going on, there's like nowhere to go, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of like the Lost Problem all over again?
Yeah. It's what is it called? It's not a magic box, a mystery box.
Mystery box.
It definitely was. All right, this is one of the last ones, and we'll probably be wrapping up.
Stiller doing Twilight Zone.
Maybe I have to rethink that. I don't know why. It just sticks in my head. Stiller, Twilight Zone, but you reminded me of Severance. Severance. All right, here is a new Superman trailer that just came out. This and one more thing, and we are out of here. It's a shorter stream today. What does everybody think of this one?
What you're looking at is the most powerful being on planet Earth. I will not accept that.
Got to get back to the fray.
Rated PG-13. Only in theaters July 11th.
All right, thoughts?
What's wild is that this makes me more excited to see Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor.
Yeah, like I was saying, this should have been the first teaser trailer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Looks great to me.
I mean, honestly, at this point, man, it looks like a fun movie. I'm not gonna judge it anymore. I don't want to see anything new. I don't want to see any more clips. I just want to see the movie now. I'm all for it. Yeah, unlike Fantastic Four, where now I don't want to see it. Now I'm just like, you know what? I could skip it.
Right.
So, but Superman, I still want to see.
I do too, but so who do you think is gonna win? My money is on Superman's gonna smoke.
Superman's gonna win.
Oh,
Jurassic World gonna beat them all, but I think Superman is in second place.
Wait a minute. You think Jurassic World's gonna beat Superman?
I think he's gonna do better than you think, George. Like,
oh yeah.
Dinosaurs.
It plays all over the world, George. Everybody loves dinosaurs, man. I mean,
the only thing, because I was the same guy, but saying the same thing for the last few. But if you look at the box office, the diminishing results on Jurassic World, and especially, like I said, with just not having any of the OG players in this, the new dinosaurs, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the one that kind of underperforms for Jurassic. But we'll see.
Jurassic
it might be the
World
big winner.
Dominion earned $1 billion.
Jesus.
I know the old ones
Yeah,
did.
but it also earned less than the last two. That was my point. Yeah.
That's still $1 billion.
Still $1 billion.
Yeah, but it did the whole Star Wars thing. Look at their box office. It was almost exactly like what Star Wars did. So
I think they were pretty happy with $1 billion.
Yes, I'm just saying they're getting worse though as films.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's only so much you could do with it. They're dumb. You know what it is? It's dumb fun. It's just dumb fun.
Yep. Oh, there's things they can do. They just refuse to do it.
I like sometimes dumb fun. A popcorn flick I enjoy, but the last one was like I felt I was losing brain cells, literally, like they were being sucked out of my.
I haven't seen a Jurassic Park movie since the first Chris Pratt movie. That's the last Jurassic Park.
That's because they only know how to do like 2 stories, and they keep giving us the same 2 stories over and over
like
again.
Terminator.
When there's
Terminator
dozens of other things you could do in this franchise, but yeah.
I think the big movie of the year is going to be Police Academy 38.
Oh God, I wish there was another Police Academy movie. Paul, don't you tease me like that.
You know what though? Honestly, if they were like in the vein of the 80s movies,
oh God,
absolutely.
There has been rumblings for a while that something would happen, and was it Key or Peel, whichever one that's not doing the horror movies? He was connected with a possible revamp of that, but never came to fruition.
Yeah, Superman has always been problematic because the Superman isn't ever really about anything is the problem, whereas the Batman is, Spider-Man is, and I mean Superman's a challenge. I give give him Gunn the best. Hopefully he makes it work, but I think in many ways he's the most difficult superhero to actually get connected to.
Well, because part of the problem is, he's always been promoted as this invulnerable guy, the guy who with so much power, nothing could stop him, right? So how do you give a guy like that stakes?
Well, for one, that's one of the reasons why I've heard he's not as overpowered in this.
You've got to ground him in story. You've got to ground him in his humanity. You've got to ground him with the people around him. And you got to do, it's kind of like in Jaws. You got to do less of the shark. You don't see it. You got to ground him with the people. Superman with Christopher Reeve, I think nailed that the first one.
Yeah, I agree because there was an awful lot of Clark Kent in it.
Yep. I think
I mean, if you look at the first teaser that Gunn put out, I think what he was trying to do was show, hey, look, he's not this super invulnerable guy. He can be heard. He can be this and that. Now he went about it the wrong way.
Exactly.
But I think that's what he was trying to do was say, hey, he's not normal, but he could be hurt, right? I just want to see the movie. And
I think the second trailer kind of gave you the problem that he's dealing with, which is, I guess, a public perception of him as a hero. I think that's an interesting angle to take. It's like we kind of saw that a little bit in Man of Steel as well. So I think that could be a good story if they build upon that and they say, hey, you know what, Superman, a lot of people don't trust you. The whole little interview with Lois and everything that he was going through, apparently something's going to happen in this movie that turns people against him. They're throwing cans at the back of his head, all that kind of crap. So I'm interested to see what that is and how Superman deals with that. So I think it could be good. I think it could be really, really good.
What do you think of James Gunn putting his own spin on Truth, Justice, and the American Way? He's changed
the human way. I bitched about that all over. Yeah, because I think it's disgusting.
I'm still not sure it's going to change in the movie itself, but According to Chris Gore, it's not in the film. So.
I hope not, because I saw the toy.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about. So that toy.
Yeah, the toy they put out there. But see, I have other places where like Peter Safford himself used the quote American way. You have Rachel Brosnahan who used the quote American way. I mean, it's out there, but then like if it's not in the movie at all, period, like the way it sounded like the way, I don't know, unless it's there in like some form and they just say the human way. I don't understand, because that is dumb as shit. It makes no sense.
Nope, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And here's the last thing. This is a trailer of a new Dracula movie, and then we're out of here, but it's in French.
Very dark.
Yeah.
Tell me your story.
It was
My story.
Ooh.
100 years ago, I asked a priest to go spend my wife. He did not.
How's it look so far, everyone?
Looks good.
Looks good.
This is the movie with the most Romanians on the screen at any one time.
My
Do you know
only
what-
issue
Yep.
is that it just, okay. The Francis Ford Coppola Dracula was the
Very
first
old.
time that they actually incorporated the Vlad the Impaler storyline with Dracula, and this feels like they're ripping that off, and to the point where we even get shots. And it just makes me feel like we already have one at home.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, Tom.
Well, let's watch the rest of it. We'll see. I haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
because I've seen the whole trailer, so yeah.
Oh, I haven't. Oh, okay. I haven't. I've been wanting to watch it. And actually, I did it again. I'm never going to do that, because on Wednesday, I put up a trailer that was, I had to delete the whole video.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy what you put up, man. Like,
yeah.
You would have got struck for that one.
Don't remind me. Yeah, and we had an awesome show. We were cracking up laughing.
Tell your God, my life no longer belongs to him. Since then, I've lived on, waiting for her return.
See, I love Luc Besson. So when I had seen it, it's like, I love Luc Besson. I mean, The Big Blue is one of my favorites after The Professional, and love The Big Blue.
Well, he did La Femme Nikita.
I know he did, but I love the original. I don't like Point of No Return.
No, hell no. That was awful. Bridget Fonda, right?
Yeah, horrible. The only person I've ever seen direct her well is Tarantino in Jackie Brown.
Yeah.
My master. He's been looking for his beloved for more than 400 years.
He comes to find his princess.
This man is the devil. Mina's in danger. Repent for your salvation.
Wow, look sensitive.
She is my salvation.
I think Christoph is playing Van Helsing, so I am looking forward to that, because Christoph Waltz is like one of my favorite actors.
He's great.
Hell yeah. I did see him, though, in an Amazon series that kind of let me down. He was amazing, but...
Yeah, I'm not speaking to whatever. I mean, he does stuff, whatever, but he's just good. Yeah.
He is phenomenal.
Love him in Django.
Oh, he was great in the Django.
Come on, yeah, he was.
Well, and Inglourious Bastards is where I fell in love with him, of course,
Yeah, that was like his best.
His Nazi? Wow.
Yeah, that first 10 minutes just made him a star.
Shall I tell you a story?
And that's why, like, I have some issues with, Star Wars and Glorious Bastards. It's like they ripped off fucking Glorious Bastards for this movie.
Oh, it's what's her name?
Damnation.
I don't like who they got playing Dracula. He looks too.
Yeah, and it's hard to like go from Gary Oldman to that guy. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but it looks gorgeous. The film looks amazing.
Money
It
spent.
does look beautiful.
It reminds me of Brotherhood of the Wolf. Anybody seen
Yes.
Brotherhood of the Wolf? That's a beautiful film. Beautiful film.
My biggest problem is that it's not diverse enough, and I don't see enough lesbians.
That is always the damn problem.
Dracula's wives are definitely lesbians, Paul. So don't worry, they're there.
Yeah, I mean Dracula actually has sister wives, man. So I mean,
Yeah, like 3 of them usually.
There'll be
All
plenty of
right.
lesbians.
There's all kinds of scissoring.
All right, let me wrap up these super chats and we're out of here. John Posey for $5. Donner movie grounded soups perfectly. I agree. Pa Kent heart attack. Despite his power, he could not save his dad from a human malady. Human life is spirit. That's why I said that's the way to do Superman.
Have you been on my Twitter all week, John?
Thank you, John. Appreciate
Arguing
it.
with Snyder Bros.
Rock Cooey? What's UYU for currency? UYU.
Uruguayan peso.
Okay. Well, 150 thank yous.
Maybe it's something else.
In Spanish, Superman always yelled, "A luchar por la justicia." A luchar por la justicia. I can't pronounce it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's fight for justice. I won't personally care about the American way line, but in most of the world, we never heard it. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, thank you.
Well, and this is something I think Script Doctor and a few others have brought up now, that the American way line has been something that has been added, subtracted, flipped around, changed a million times. In fact, the original version was, I believe, just he fights for truth and justice.
And then he said a better tomorrow. I think a better tomorrow.
And then
or
at one
something.
point it became
For
a
the
better
peace of all
tomorrow.
mankind.
Yeah.
And then, so it's changed many times. And this is why I wasn't like freaking out completely over the toy thing, because it is not abnormal for toys, especially ones that are, or bobbleheads or whatever it is, something that may be sold outside of the US to not have that direct like kind of thing on it. Because I mean, even Captain America, most people forgot that it was not released as Captain America around the world. Most places got it as the first Avenger. They didn't call it Captain America. So
Truth,
I mean, it's just one of those
and
things.
Almond Joy.
Yes, everybody loves Almond Joys.
I know.
Because they got nuts. But moms don't.
And Dragon Master Zero for $5. Superman had better do $1 billion or more at the box office. WB and DC need that to happen, and it had better be awesome. Well, I hope it's awesome. I hope
look, it needs to do well for sure. But again, my point is Warner Brothers has had a pretty stellar year so far. I think Superman could do good without having to be like super great because they've had such a good year. But it still needs to be good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it needs to do over 800. If it gets over 800, I think that's a success, based on what I've heard the budget is and everything that they're spending on it. But the main thing is it has to launch the DC universe, because they got everything banking on that. If the DC universe if people are not excited to see what else James Gunn has cooked up for this DC universe after this movie, then it's a failure right there. Even if it's, makes its money back or whatever. People have to be excited to while they're walking out of the theater. Damn, I can't wait to see what else is coming up. They have to have that feeling in them.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. It has to do well both monetarily and with the audience reception, because this is going to be launching the new DC James Gunn era. So it has to be well received by the audience. Critics, here nor there.
Right.
But the audience needs to love it. The audience needs to crave more from James Gunn, because he's going to be the new head.
Also, this is the first time DC has ever had a chance to overtake Marvel as far as, superhero movies. Like, this is their chance. Like, Marvel is done. If they could just like nail this, then DC is their goal for the next 10 years.
They'll be the new Marvel, basically. They'll do what Phase 1. Gotcha. And here are the last 3. Embo for €12. George, I've seen FBI Cash Patel on Joe Rogan, and he's giving police power and Musk truth. Buddy NASA fired. Yeah, I know Musk's buddy, Isaacson, I think it was removed, and he had the confirmation all locked up. Because they found out a few things about him. If that's what your question is, I thank you for your support and your super chat. They found out the fact that he had been sued by Trump when Trump owned the Taj Mahal casino in New Jersey. many years ago. Plus, he had several donations to different Democratic PACs for over $100,000, and there were lots of problems. More than that, I don't know, but I can look into it if that's what you're trying to say. But thank you, Empo. Plus, we got Detailed Devil for $2. F4 initially put under, now playing tab in AMC app. Initially put under, now playing tab. Okay. All right. Thank you, Detailed. I'm now calling it, Fantastic Four went from F4 to the Foreskins to the Tampon Troopers. So that movie's screwed for me. Dragon Master, $4, sent in a super sticker. Thank you very much, Dragon Master. Love you. Appreciate it. This has been an amazing show. Thank you.
I'm going to try to see the Ballerina today. Unfortunately, the theater I go to is in downtown LA. So I'm going to see if I can get in there somehow and watch a movie. If not, then I guess I'll have to catch it next week when this insurrection is over.
I'm going to try to see the Wes Anderson movie.
The Wes. Oh, you're the what's it? No,
No,
new one.
The new one, yeah. It's I heard mixed things about it though, but it's Wes Anderson. There's always mixed things about his movies.
I'm a Wes Anderson fan.
I enjoy most of his. You know what I can't stand though is the fucker he always brings in. I have to ignore him. The young guy.
Oh, Schwartzman?
No, John something.
Senna? John.
Oh, Cena or not Cena?
The Canadian guy?
Yeah. Hold on.
The weirdo guy. I know who he's talking.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
The Weasley guy.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He
actually. Wes Anderson is putting out all his movies in 4K in Criterion, but there's some problems.
Michael Cera, sorry.
Michael Cera. I knew who you were talking about.
I like him, but he drives me crazy.
Because like half of them are actually from 2K up converts, so like people are freaking out, and the reason is because the box set is like $350 fucking dollars.
Are you serious?
So I am dead fucking serious.
Wow.
Because it has like 12 of his movies in them, but almost half of them are all from like 2K up converts. Because they didn't go back to scan the film. So, like, people are like, what the fuck? Yeah.
All right. Now, let's go around. Paul, thank you for coming. Where can everybody find you? And what do you have coming up next?
I don't know. But you can find me on Appalling News or on Call Me Chato. And I have a very good, funny video on, I call the Trump and Musk food fight.
Okay.
But because I make fun of both of them, my audience doesn't like it.
Okay, well, so you enjoyed it. They didn't.
Yeah, as a comedian, you go after everybody, right?
Everybody, always. No one, everyone's fair game. Steph, thank you so much for coming. Please tell everybody where they can find you, what you're doing next, so they can go.
Yeah. My Nerdy Home on YouTube. That's where you can catch me. I'll be streaming there in about 20 minutes with Disbrew. We have a gaming stream. And then right after that, streaming again, same channel for Talk Nerdy Tonight with OG Marjade.
Wonderful. Tom?
Well, I'm working on a video right now. We've got other ones in the hopper. We have the morning show where Paul generally shows up. And other than that, you can find me at Midnight's Edge After Dark. In a few hours, I'm going to be doing a tier list show of the Friday the 13th films since Friday is Friday the 13th. So hopefully
that's a good time to do it.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. All right, DA, what you got coming up? Where can everybody find you?
DA's office tonight, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then the nightcap on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So hang out, talk with us. It's always crazy. The late night gets wild. So hope you guys join us. And yes, once again, George, thanks. Always
love having you here. Love this panel. And Dante, you look healthier, happier now after the 2 hours. Yes.
I do.
You do. You look happier now.
No, I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, so you guys catch me tomorrow. I actually have a special Monday episode of DRL where my guest is going to be Vera Vanguard. She is a really talented horror filmmaker, and she makes horror films out of puppets, which is crazy. And funny fact, she was my very first guest on VRL 2 years ago. So bringing her back. And thank you guys for watching the Gothics episode on Thursday. That was a wild fucking show. So
it was.
Thank you guys who tuned into that one, man. And of course, you can catch me on Film Threat Versus with the rest of the guys, as usual.
Cool. And then we'll be back here Wednesday with Slayer Unchained. I think someone just popped in. Steph, if you got to go, no worry. I know it's late. Thank you for waiting. But Robert just jumped in here.
Sorry, I'm late.
Yeah.
Our show
Yeah.
ran long.
No, not a problem. Not a problem. Happy birthday to you. We were just wrapping up. We were just.
I figured I'd pop in because I'm hiding from ICE.
Yeah.
You know,
the rapper. He's hiding from ICE, the rapper.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to be a rapper that I was going to call myself Painfully White at one point. I was going to do songs like I'll Have a Salad, Brooks
Nice.
Brothers Boogie, you know.
You got to join us next week.
No foam on that latte.
Oh, that's a good one. I would have
No
done
foam in that latte.
Yeah, and I have to actually drive to LAX, which is, for me, depending on the traffic, it could be an hour drive or a 2-hour drive or a 3-hour drive, which means I have to traverse the area, which is things are happening right now.
Good luck, man.
Yeah,
Bye, everyone.
Yeah, man.
Bye. All righty. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to Lord Thoth, one of our incredible mods, Eric K, King of the Mods, Dante, Derek, Robert Meyer, Burnett with him. Wish him a happy birthday. And to Tom, I will see you. Actually, I'm doing a Tuesday night special where I'm going to be with Mark Mitchell at 7 o'clock. We're going to talk just politics, no entertainment. And then I'll be back here Wednesday with Dante. Tom, we're going to have a great time. Have a blessed day and a wonderful week. Remember, we're fighters with one unbreakable rule. We never bow down. We never bend the knee. And go check out Mr. Brown's Alliance. I'm going to try to help him, a good friend of mine. So it's going to push you there right after this stream. All righty, everybody.
Bye.